just click on the number and it will jump in up. Install the app on your phone, and then you'll be able to do all the same things that I'm
Systematically
showing you
monitor
on a
and
computer.
have the
You'll
habit
be able to
of
do the exact same
creating
thing
cash
on
reserves.
your app,
So
and
that
this
is
looks
important.
very
Cash is key.
very
Cash
good to
is like
be adding
oxygen for a
information
business, right?
by just
So
having
you
your
need
phone.
to
So
have
check out that
sufficient
app
cash
too.
for your business.
But now, so
Another
we have
thing
our
that I
Google
notice is
Classroom
many
here,
entrepreneurs
and
do
the
not
first thing that we're going to do
differentiate
is
or do
just
not
to
know the
create
difference
a
between a
class.
cash
And you can
profit.
see right up here where the plus symbol is, create or join a class. So this is where students are going to join the class here, and this is where we're going to create our class. So I'm just going to create a class here. I'm going to go create class, and at this point I'm just going to name it Teachers Tech, and we'll just call this demo, and go ahead and hit create. You can fill out sections, subjects, room. You can go back and edit this at all times too, but I'm just going to go ahead and hit create. So we have a class to work with, and it will create this class. And then after it's created, all that we're going to do is make some changes inside of it. Now, this is pretty much, you're going to see all your classes look this way, but we can customize this too. And if you want to start at the beginning to customize, or you can do this later too, you can see how there's a picture right here. Well, we can go and select a theme or upload a photo. So maybe you want to put a photo of your class or whatever it is. You can upload a photo, but if I just go and select theme, you can see I can go through and pick kind of a general theme like this. I could go to English or history. I'll just go back to general. You can look at different ones on it. I'm just going to go ahead and pick this one right here. In Google Classroom, take a look up top right here. You can see where these three lines are. We can go back to our classes. I'll explain some of these things a little bit later. But if I go to classes, this is the class that we just created, and this is where they're all going to get created. As you create more classes, there's going to be more to fill in here. And you can see if I click these three little dots here, we can edit. We can go back and click the edit and change this part right here, what I showed you before on it. And if you go back, where you can copy and archive also. So now that we have a class set up, let's start looking at what else we can do with it. Okay, so for this section, I want to show you how you can add students to your class. I'm going to go back into my class that I created here. And at this point, now, the way I usually do it in front of a class, if I have this open and showing them, you see there's this class code right here. And what I can be doing, if they're live in front of me, I'm just going to hit this little display, and I just tell them to type down this code, and then they can join the class. Remember, at the beginning, they would have to hit the join, then enter this code. The other way I could just copy this class code and send it in an email from here. And if you don't like this class code, what you can do is go over to the settings here. And if I scroll down for a little bit, you can see that there's the class code. Here it is, right here, same one. If I click on this one, I could copy it from here too, but I can reset it if you want a different one, or I can even disable it if I don't want any more students to come in. So remember that in the settings. So I'm just going to go out of this one. The other way that you can do this, and this gives them an invitation to the students, if I go up to people up here, and you can see there's students, and this is where I would invite other teachers. So if you are collaborating, if there's another teacher that you're working with in this class, you can add them here. But if we're adding students, if I go ahead and hit the plus here, and I'm just going to start typing this. So we have a demo one here, and I'm going to give an invite, and then that student will get an invite in their email. Then they'll have to click it, and then they'll be accepted from it, and then we'll have students in our class. So what does it look like for the student? Well, there's a couple different ways. They're going to get in their email a place to join. But the other thing, once you invite them through the invite process, they'll get this. So right now I'm logged in as one of the students I invited, and you can see they can either decline or join. Now, the other way I mentioned, now you can see it's joining, and then this person's part of that class. Now, if I go over and go to a different one, the other way to join is if I hit the plus, and then that's where the class code is entered. So that's where I would enter the class code that I had that was being displayed. I could either send that or just show it in class and hit join, and then that person will be part of the class. So those are the different ways the students can join the class and what they're going to see through that process. So now I'm back in my teacher's account here, and you can see now they're not grayed out anymore. These people have accepted, and I can invite guardians now. So I can click on this, and I can put in the emails of the guardians, and then they'll get a place to sign up to be able to say how often they want to see the information, knowing when assignments are, and you can also email students from right here. So if I click these three little dots, I can go to email students, and I can send them a direct message from here. So it makes this an easy way to manage everything right inside Google Classroom. So I'm back in the teacher's site now, and I want to discuss the stream. Now the stream is going to be your first tab here, and it's what you're going to see down below here. Now this is where you communicate with your class. You're not going to be giving assignments in the stream. It's going to be maybe announcements, and you can give attachments of files to things from Google Drive or a website or even a YouTube video. So to do this, what you can do is just click in here, and I'll just say that welcome, just give a welcome message. So I'll just say welcome, and this would go out to, now you have a couple options. Do you want it to go out to all students, or do you want to go to select students? So you can choose if this is going to everybody or to select students. Now this is where you can add. So right down here we can go add, and do we want this to be a link, a file, a YouTube video? So if I was going to go to maybe a Google Drive, it would open up something in my Google Drive, and I'll just grab a video from my Google Drive on this one. So now I have one more option here. I can go here, I can schedule it or save it as a draft, which means I can go back later and post it. But I'm just going to go ahead and post this, and let's move over to the view what the student would see on this one right now. So now I'm logged in as one of the students, and this is their view. So it's not changing a lot on this one, but now students can comment back on this one too. And notice they can write something up here also. And now I'll show you in a moment. You might not want to give that much opportunity for students to write right away. Maybe you want to kind of teach them about it and what to kind of the appropriate things to communicate in here. And I'll show you where that option is. But if a student was, I'll just say wow, and was to write something here and then send it back, I'm going to move back over to the teacher view here. Now I'm back in the teacher view. You can see here's the comment here. Now we do have some options here. If I go back here, I can reply to this comment, but look at this. I could either delete or mute this comment from Ashton, maybe if it was inappropriate. Now the settings I was talking about, maybe you want to limit to how much they can communicate this way, because I've opened it up before and sometimes students will just write random things in it, and you can go through and delete these too. But if I go up to the settings here, and I'm just going to go down a little bit here, and here's the stream. Now if we look, students can post and comment, students can only comment, only teachers can post or comment. So this might be something you want to think about inside the stream of how you want to manage it. Okay, so now we're going to move over to classwork right here. This is where you're going to put your assignments, maybe material prior to any assignments like course outlines or website links or videos that you know they can access again and again that you're commonly using. But so what I like to do first, now I'm going to go to this button right here and hit this create. In my mind, how I organize things, and this could be different, you can do this in different orders. You could create your material first and then assign the topic after. But I'm going to go to topics, and a lot of times in my mind I'm